Okay, we are in part 3. I assume that will be the last part of this topic, Bechira Chofshit, the free will. And today I want to dedicate it to understand the frame of the wheel. I mean the field. So let's just mention the main things that we already spoke about a little bit before. In order to be a free willer, the first thing about the free willer is that he has to have a da'at. Da'at is an ability to connect to the reality and to understand the reality around. So that, we said that before many times, that the concept of that is to be connected. So we're talking here about the person and the world around, and the connection, this is the dot. Now there are people who are not connected, and in the halakha we have 3 exceptions, three people that could not be connected or not connected, and therefore they are not actually free willers. And those are the Cheresh, Shoteh Vekatan. Cheresh is someone who was born deaf and he could not speak, he could not hear. And if this is the case, this person, if we'll stay like this, will never develop as a person who could be aware of the reality around him. So this kind of person is patur mikol Torah kula, is not obligated to anything. He's not a free willer. The other category is shoteh, someone who used to be healthy, but he got either by accident or by sickness, but he become now that he's not connected to the world around him. So he's also not obligated he's not a free willer. Katan is someone who is completely healthy, but is still young. And we know in Judaism that at the age of 13 for boys, 12 for girls, you become bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah, the meaning of it. From now on, you're obligated to everything. Until now, of course, we have to educate, to train, but he's not obligated. He starts to be obligated when there is a maturity of the spiritual part with the physical part, and that occurred at this time. The other thing that need in order to be a free willer is to realize 2 opposite sides. I mean, you could react to the reality around you, but you could react to it in a positive way or a negative way. So the positive and the negative, and the ability to realize what's positive, what's negative, and is must be conditioned in order to have free will. Number 3, that you are really free. Meaning, if someone forces you to do or to react this way or that way, if someone or some reason or anything force you, meaning that you are not free to decide to do one thing or just the opposite of it, in this case you're not a free willer. So you have to be free. The result of, or the impact, the consequences of this is the responsibility when you choose whatever you choose. If you choose positive, the credit is yours. If you choose when you are free, when you're free to choose, when you choose the negative, the responsibility is on you. Okay? Those are actually the conditions of bechira, of being free willer. Now, one thing that we mentioned, but let me show you now the source in the Gemara in Masechet Nida, and I realized from talking to people that this thing is not completely clear, so it should be learned. So let's see those words of the Gemara. אותו מלאך הממונה על ההיריון לילה שמו, ונוטל טיפה ומעמידה לפני הקדוש ברוך הוא ואומר לפניו, ריבונו של עולם, טיפה זו מה תהא עליה. So this Gemara in Masechet Nida is connected to the Gemara that we mentioned in the former parts of this series, famous Gemara in Masechet Kiddushin. שלושה שותפים באדם, אביו ואימו והקדוש ברוך הוא. So the father and the mother contribute what was in the original dust from earth, the DNA. Okay? So this, the body we got from our father and mother, from our parents. The neshama we got from a Kadosh Baruch Hu. And we spoke about this. I just want to add this thing. When Hashem chooses one soul, which is, if you remember, a spark of the big neshama of Adam HaRishon, you choose this particular soul will go to this particular body. So you have to know this is not arbitrary. Someone decided about this, and the decision is made by Hashem Himself. The Zohar says that about everything that Hashem created in the world, Hashem created a spiritual power to be in charge, called those spiritual powers called malachim, or hapkidim memunim. Hashem put them to be in charge in this area, in this area, in this area. This thing is not. Hashem decide what neshama goes to which body. Why? Because the body should be fit. The potential of the neshama, in order for them together to fix whatever they need to fix, which is the mission. So Hashem will choose which neshama will go to which body. Now there are here in the Gemara 3 categories that Hashem decide, and we'll analyze them soon. Okay, but those are the 3 categories that Hashem decide what will be the quality of the body that this neshama will go to, and it's exactly the most idealistic tools for this neshama to do the fixing, to do the mission. So Hashem give everyone the body that they need, and it's very particular. So we'll see later in the Gemara. What do you want to say?
The body is a physical context, physical being. When you say Yinon Kalazan.
Wait, I didn't get to there. Well, let me explain it. We're just here. Let me explain this. We'll see after that if you have a question. Okay? So, Hashem decides which neshama goes to which body. Remember again, we never choose our body. No one asks us. No one asks us if we want to be born, in which body we will be, a man, a male, a female, a Jew, a non-Jew, what time in the history, to what kind of parents. No one asks us it. Hashem is the decision maker about this. Now,
or how many years of life as well, right?
That's part of this. Let's see. So there is an angel who is in charge to bring this soul and the body when it's really in the beginning, and Hashem will make the decision. And the decisions are in three categories. Let's see them first. Gibor or Chalash will be strong or weak. Chacham or Tipesh will be smart or not smart, dumb. Ashir or Ani. Ashir or Ani meaning if it will be rich or poor. So those are actually 3 categories. It seems particular, but it's 3 categories. In Gibor or Chalash meaning which body this neshama will get. A healthy, strong body. That includes also how many years this person will be able to live, and in what quality of health.
That's not in our hands, or it is?
It's in Hashem's hands. This is the Gibor or Chalash. The Gibor, strong. How long this person could be alive when no, let's say, accident or something else will cut their life. What is the potential of life of the body, of the strength of the body? So this is category number 1. Category number 2. So let's talk about the quality physically, quality of the body. Category number 2 is Chacham or Tipesh. It talks about the intellectual level of this person. how smart you will be, what kind of memory, analysis, everything that relates to the intellectual side. So again, this is part of the thing that Hashem will decide. If we will, now, and it will be fit the mission. If his mission requires that he will be very smart, Hashem will give him these tools. If the spiritual mission of his life not require this, there's no need for this. So Hashem decide about, when he take into account the mission and the potential, he decide the quality of the intellectual level. Ashir or Ani means, here now we are not talking about the body, not about the intellectual, but about the ability of the body or the person to live their life. Meaning, if he will be rich, the meaning is he has nothing to worry about how to make a living. He'll have enough money. By the way, it's more obligated. Because if you have enough time, you have no excuse why you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Hashem gave you everything that you need. But some people, part of their tikkun will be that they will be always struggling about making a living themselves, the living themselves. So, and it's all, only Hashem knows, and it's not arbitrary, it's coming exactly fitting the mission of this person and the purpose of this person's life in this world. The only thing that Hashem is not deciding, so all of those things are not in our hands. Hashem will decide this. Of course, there is something called ishtadlut. Even if if you're rich, you could do more, but that's not part of the thing that we in charge. Those decisions are Hashem decisions. The only one that Hashem is not deciding is this: Ve'ilu rasha o tzadik lo ka'amar. Hashem is not deciding that this person will be righteous or will be wicked. וזהו שאמרו, הכל בידי שמיים חוץ מיראת שמיים. הכל בידי שמיים meaning everything. 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 Says Rashi, everything that happened to a person is בהשגחה, it's coming from שמיים, it's not your decision. The only thing is יראת שמיים. Now let's explain what is יראת שמיים. יראת שמיים, actually, the free will is the יראת שמיים. Those who heard the first part and part two, part 1 and part 2, it will be more easier for them, but I will make it something that could be explained in this particular class. What is Yirat Shamayim? We spoke about this many times in different lectures. Remember that the letters Yud and Mem in the end of the word always make or turn it from singular to plural. Yad Yadayim, Regel Raglayim, Sham Shamayim. So here, Shamayim is Sham, Sham, there. Shamayim is not just there, but very there. Shamayim. No. Sham is there. Sham is there. The meaning of the word Sham is there. What is there? Everything that's not here is there. Now, where it's there, the meaning is anything that's tangible, that you could grasp, understand. This is here. Hashem created things that far away from your ability to understand them. Therefore, they are there. But because they are so there, it's not just there, it's there in square. Meaning it's very far. It's very far from your senses to really understand them. How could you know that they are there? Not because you see them, but because you operate your mind, you operate your sechel, your intellectual, by your ability to think, you could realize that the reality is more than what you just see or grasp by your physical senses. Now, what is Yirat Shamayim? Yir'ah in Hebrew, if you take the word Yir'ah, switch the letter, you get the word Re'iyah. Same letters, right? Re'iyah, to see, and Yir'ah. Why? The more you see, the more you understand that it's not simple. And then you respect it or appreciate it or really knows that it. Therefore, the more you ro'eh, the more you yareh. The more you understand that it's more than you think when you see it from the surface. Yirat Shamayim.
By the way, it will say Nevuah Biwa Ro'eh by Shmuel.
Right.
Ro'eh, if you have a good ro'eh, you can reach the Madrigal of Nevuah.
True. Yirat Shamayim what is Yirat Shamayim? Yirat Shamayim is when you make decision about things that you do here in this world. Usually, it's enough that I'm smart, I'm aware, and then I make decisions. The thing is, what are you missing? You're missing the real reality. You're taking the reality that here, but there is a reality up there, which is the spiritual dimension. Yirat Shamayim is the ability to be aware that what you see is just part of bigger picture, and when you make decision based on the entire picture, not the partial picture that most of the people do. That's called Yirat Shamayim. So when I decide, let's say that I'm hungry, I want to eat, and there is food, and it's good, and it's right here. So that's enough for someone who see in the bubble. Yirat Shamayim is to take into account what is there. What could be there that's not here? Let's say it's not kosher. See? It's not, the kosher is not here. It's come from there. So you have to take it into account. So if you Yirei Shamayim, you are not eating things that seems why not to eat, right? But because of the Yirat Shamayim, you see, you take into account in your decision, not just what here, what is there. This is Yirat Shamayim. And this is actually the free will.
Very well said.
This is the Bechira. Now let's go deeper to this Bechira. See, I'm sorry that's in Hebrew, but I'll try to translate. Who is the decision maker? Me. I'm the free willer. Who am I? So I have a body, and I have a soul. We mentioned that, I think, in the first lecture in this series, that the body is not mine. The body is not me. It's mine. It's not me. I say my body, so it's not me. Like I say my car. My car is not me. It's a possession that I have, right? So when I say my body, and be aware of this, I say my body in general. I say my hand. I say even my heart. I say even my brain. So it means that all those are not you. You are the owner of them, right? So the body is not you. So if it's not, the body is not you, who is you? Apparently the soul, the neshama. But the neshama is also not me. We say in the morning, מודה אני לפניך שהחזרת בי נשמתי. אלוקי נשמה שנתת בי. So the neshama also was given in me. So if it's given with me, it's not me. So I'm not my body, I'm not my soul. Who am I? And here we come to a third point, imaginary point. So we have a body, this is obvious. We have a neshama, that we know. But there is an imaginary point called I, ani. Ani is the place when the body and the soul connected. When they connected, this is you. Now, when you say I, ani, I do, I want, who's I? How it works. My body wants something. My body wants something. He asks me to do what the body needs. Okay? I have to say okay or not, right? But imagine something when there is a contradiction between what my body wants to what my neshama wants, my soul wants. Again, let's use the same example. I'm hungry, I have food, but it's not kosher. The body said, I don't care, I'm hungry. The neshama said, but it's not kosher. Who's going to make the decision to who to listen? To the body or to the soul? The I, the ani. I will decide if I will go for the interest of the body or for the interest of the soul. And this is the Bechira. So the Bechira is not in the body, is not in the soul. They are just the tool. The Bechira is here. By the point that when they connected, and here you have the ability to decide if to prefer the interest of the body or request of the body or the request of the soul. Of course, just a second. Of course, there are many, many cases that there is no contradiction. When there's no contradiction, the body and the soul agree about you have nothing to do, okay, just do it. But when you have a conflict, you are the one to decide, and that your bechira, that your free will, yeah.
The I is a combination of both. The I is basically not me. The eye, Hashem gave me the neshama, and even the goof is not mine. I was created against my will, and nobody told me to love this kind of body, that kind of body. So the idea of choosing kosher meal versus, say, I don't care if it's not kosher, I see food I eat, it's a struggle between the mind and the body. Now, who is? It's the upbringing that you have. Sometimes the mind will overcome your body's desire because the mind says, absolutely no way. You are hungry, but you got now a mind that forbids it. But the guy that was not trying to...
When you say mind, what do you mean when you say mind?
Mind is the spiritual end, is the neshama.
So, do you mind to call it soul?
Call it soul.
Because the mind, it's tricky, because the mind in the brain, right? The ability to think is not the soul, because you could think wrong. You could think wrong, so it's not right, it's not accurate to call it mind.
The soul is the energy for the mind to operate as a mind.
Let's put it this way. The mind, or the seichel in Hebrew, is a servant of two masters. He could serve the body, he could serve the soul. The mind itself is not giving you, is just a tool, just a tool. It's like you have the detective of the city, you have the head of the mafia of the city. They're both bright, they're both smart, right? Now, depends what mission you give it. The detective of the city said, you know what, I want to eliminate the crime in this city. I know they are very sophisticated. Okay, give me the best, I'm asking my mind, give me the best solution how to overcome and control the crime. And the other side, sitting in the other room, the head of the mafia, he said, I want to make the highest level crime ever. Give me a plan to do it in the good way. So the mind is a servant of two masters. Depend how do you, what do you choose for him. The chooser is what I call over here the I. I'm deciding if I want to do right or I want to do wrong. Then I use the body, the brain, the mind to do whatever I chose. But the action of the choosing started from my will, from me. Now, in the body, you have the quality of the body. Chacham, tipesh, smart or not, rich or poor. You know, if you're rich, you have a lot of time, you do not have to worry about how to exist. Same thing about if you're healthy or not healthy. Of course, in the body we have a difference between a male and a female, a Jew or non-Jew, and we know that the Torah was given even for non-Jews, the 7 mitzvot of Noah. So they have free will in this particular area. So they are not free, or they're not out of the mission. They could choose to do the 7 mitzvot of Noah. And in a big way, they have the free will if they want to convert to Judaism, yes or not. But all of this is part of those. Now, we have to take into account more things in order to enhance or be aware of our free will. Our parents. From our parents, we got mentality. We get trained how to think and to react to situation. Not just our parents, our social group, the people around us. Where are we in the world? Nikum geography. Where are we in the history? From the parents we got the DNA, the genetic code. And another thing above all of this is something called mazal, which is mazal is which zodiac you was born to, that also influence in a way, it's not decision maker, but it's also something that you have to take an account, because there is such a thing. There is such a thing called
but the mazal
mazal.
is not part of Kriya Bchira. Bchira is totally above you, the mazal. You take that as part of our upbringing.
I'm taking all the ingredients.
It's nothing to do with me. It's mazal decided for me by higher forces.
The mazal is part of the system.
Yeah, but it's not part of each part of the. Therefore, it's
The
not
system,
Bchira.
and because we are in the system, and we will now take into account the entire frame, that all of these things play some roles. You have to be aware of them. You could choose against your mazal, but it will be harder when the mazal is not good. It will be harder, and that will make your mission Hashem put you in this mazal for a reason. For a reason. It's not an excuse, but it's part of the condition of the situation that you should do your mission through or within it. Okay. After we took in account all those elements, let's just summarize again in what ways, in what realms we have free will. So there are three of them. The ma'aseh, you could do a good deed, a good action, or a negative action. In the speech, you could speak positively or negatively. And in the thought. Those are the only three realms that any human being could operate in. He could do or not do, say or not say, think or not think. Now you have free will in all three. You could do good or you could do evil. You could speak positive or negative, and even in the thought, in the thinking. People might think, you know what, okay, I understand that I have free will to do or not to do, to say or not to say. But how I control my thoughts? It just pop up. I don't have control on it. That's wrong. It's not true. I have easy way to prove it wrong. The fact is that it's impossible to think two thoughts in the same moment. It's impossible. Therefore, if you said, I have a negative thought that just come to my mind, you have an ability to take it out. How? Think positive. If you think positive, the negative thought will go away because there is no room for two thoughts in the same moment. Therefore, you have free will even in the machshava, even in the thought. Now, we have to know that our action and our speech and our thoughts are the definition of who we are. When you ask someone, who are you? People answer very stupid answers. They give their names or their profession. It's not the thing. Who are you? Not what you do, not how people call you. Who are you? You are what do you do. You are what do you say. You are what do you think. If you do act good, positive, you're a good person. If you speak positive, you're a good person. If you think positive, you're a good person. So the maaseh is obvious. I could do this or that, and people could see what I do and judge me. I could say things, and people could judge me based on the way I'm speaking. In a way, no one could know what I'm thinking, only me. If I never say it to someone, no one will know. But it's still, this is real inner you. The inner you, the action is outside. The talk is the connection between the body and the soul. But the thought is the real you. So we have to think positive. Because that's what makes you who you are.
It's in the process. If days are coming that people
No, okay. Now, other parts or other implication. When you choose between good and evil, you have to know that the absolute good is true. The absolute evil is lie. If we add to this, absolute good is absolute truth. Absolute truth is the real reality. When in the other side you have the evil and the lie, which is not reality. It's imaginary. You think you create a fake world, a fake reality, and you could seem that, you know what, this is your reality, it's a fake reality, this is your reality. It seems to you that it's very successful. And we have to know, Chazal said, our sages says, that this entire world is Alma de Shikra. The entire world is a world of lie, because many people, most of the people in this world, trapped in the illusion that they know what the reality is. When they, in the bubble, they see the physical, they do not see the big picture, therefore they're creating a virtual world, a virtual reality, a fake reality that it's not the real reality. One day, it will explode and will vanish, because the truth is there to be there forever. The lie, you cannot lie for long term to too many people. At the end, it will explode and will just disappear. So you have to know that the real choice is between the real reality to the fake reality. And most of the people in this world, Chazal says, as I said, live in Alma de Shikra. They live in the fake reality. And it seems very successful, but it's only a matter of time until they will know that they chose wrong. So, but therefore, the entire thing of us being free willers is more than a gift, a responsibility. It's a responsibility. You're free willer, therefore, because you're free, you could choose to really live your life in the real way or in the fake way.
Can you go back to the previous slide? This is the creation of a human being. Each one of them, Metziut. You think that your Metziut is good, and a person thinks that his Metziut is good. So there is not defined what Metziut is all about. How can you tell me that your Metziut is the Emet? He said that his Metziut is the Emet. And his Metziut and your Metziut are contradicting each other.
Let's switch the word. You see, the terms could make the confusion. Let's switch the word. Instead of Metziut, say reality. Reality, okay? Reality could not be subjective. Reality is an objective thing. So there is no point, and it doesn't make any sense to say my reality versus your reality. The reality is not mine and it's not yours. There is a reality. Either you're there or you're not there. So there is no it could not be an argument. Could be an argument if you see the real reality the way it is. And you're not creating. Hashem created the reality. You are not creating. Exactly. That's why I wanted to switch. Reality is the real reality. Be aware of the word in English. Reality comes from the word real, right? So the real is the real essence of the universe. The real essence of the universe is reality. Now, you could look at it and understand it or see it wrong. And that caused the argument between people. Almost everyone is wrong. Everyone sees it from very specific direction from very specific interest, and therefore this called fake reality. Okay? The real reality, here what I'm talking about not a person opinion. I'm talking about the real truth, the absolute truth, the absolute goodness is the absolute reality.
So who can decide what is the absolute
No one have to decide about this.
Of course, because we want to achieve
You do not.
ultimate in life, right?
You are not the one who creates reality. You're taking a job of God. God creates reality. It's not you or me or anyone else.
But He defined to us what is reality. Be such a person.
So I said that. Because I don't.
Be a good person.
David, because I don't have a lot of time, I said it once. I've said it again, but the last time. Reality is when Hashem created, when God created the world, He created what created. This is reality. This is reality. Now He created us, and now we are in the reality, in the world, but we see it the way we want to see it. We see partial thing. We do not see the reality the way it is. We are seeing it the way we receive it. And this is the problem here, and that's the cause of the argument. So it's not my reality versus your reality, because my reality, your reality is just our point of view of the reality, but there is a real reality the way it is. Okay? We have no way to know about it unless God, the Creator, will tell us what it is. And He told us. And He told us how to behave in this creation that He created, and this is basically the Torah. So He didn't really give us ability to understand the reality that He created because it's bigger than us, but He gave us instructions how to use the reality practically in order to live the right life. So I have to just conclude this. Another thing that very important to understand is something that Rav Eliyahu Dessler in his book Michtav Eliyahu called Nekudat HaBechira. So we talk about free will, but I want to show over here something very interesting to the end of this of this discussion about the free will. There is something in the world that we live to, which is, I said before, it's alma de shikra, it's a fake reality. And in a way, there is something so not fair. In our world, we have a competition between people, between companies, between everyone. Right? Competition. And the competition is not fair. It's not fair. Let's say sports. So I don't know how to say the terms exactly in the world of sports because it's not my world. But there is something called tacharut ritza. How do you say that? A race of how fast you could run, right? So they take let's say 10 people, put them in certain line, and said, you know what, you have here about a mile, you have to run. Let's see who gonna get first to the end, to the okay. So why this kind? And this is actually not just in sports, in anywhere. Why it's not fair? Because there is no point for me to go to be part of the people who play. Why? Because I don't have enough strength. My muscles is not the best part of my body, right? And those people are big, huge. They have big muscles. So from the beginning, only certain people could go to this race, right? So it's not fair for the rest of the world. And they say, okay, this is the rules. Now, I want to tell you a moralic question that once a teacher present me, and I didn't know what to say. I mean, I know what to say, but it was, you'll see. This teacher was a third, fourth grade teacher. She came to me and asked me the following question. She said, listen, I have 20 kids in my classroom. And I have a big problem that I could not solve to myself. Maybe you could help me. So what is the problem? I have 20 students, 2 of them sitting next to each other. One of them is so smart, it's unbelievable. I taught a lot of kids. This is something, very unusual. Smart person, good way of analysis, good memory, amazing. The other one is not dumb, is mediocre, not very smart, but not. Now they sit next to each other, and I'm teaching them, and from time to time I'm giving tests. When I give a test, the one who is in the middle, not the smart one, he is such a good student. He loves learning. So he learned in school, out of school. When there is a test, he is really putting a lot of effort. Okay? When I got the papers from them, I have to sign it, I have to give the marks. I try to be generous. The highest mark that I could give is, let's say, 86, which is very good. The other one is so smart, has a good memory. Every time that I give a test, I see everything is accurate. I have to write down 100. So I ask you, what's the problem? The problem is that the other one, the smart one, has no interest to learn whatsoever. He is very bad, negative student. He is always making troubles. He always disturbs the class, and he really is not interested in nothing. But when he hears things, he has a good memory. He knows it. So when I write down the marks, I have a problem, because he never learned anything for his test. He do not do any effort, nothing. But he has the right answer, so I have to write down 100. When I'm writing 100 to him, and then to the student next to him, the 86, my fingers are shaking. What do you have to say about this? So it's a very difficult question, right? Because in school you are not giving marks for the effort, only for the results. And it's not just in school. Anywhere in the Western society is the same thing. It doesn't matter how did you get there. If you bring the merchandise. הבאת את הסחורה. You did it. You did it. I don't care how. That's so not fair. You understand? It's so not fair. And now, here's the question.
Torah is different.
Here's the question. Let's see over here. Imagine, let me take you back to Israel, if you remember. Just to explain this. You know that in Yerushalayim, where I was born, there is a famous hospital called Sharei Tzedek, or Hadassah. I was born in Hadassah. So Hadassah Hospital is in Yerushalayim. Imagine 12:15 a.m., middle of the night, 2 ambulances come from Yerushalayim with a pregnant lady who is about to have a baby. Okay, one of them came from Mea Shearim. One of them came from Kibbutz Ramat Rachel, which is a kibbutz, right? They came in the same time to the delivery room. They pushed them. It was really about to have the babies, so they put them next to each other in 2 rooms. At my time, it was in the same room with a curtain. The 2 mothers, right? And they delivered 2 babies. I mean, each one of them a baby in the same time. Same time. 12:20, let's say, a.m. Okay? 2 boys. Okay, after 1 or 2 or 3 days, in Israel it's about a week. Here it's 2 days. They're going back home. One baby will go with his mother to Mea Shearim. The husband is a big Talmid Chacham rabbi, seriously learning, very important in the community. Of course, when he has the baby, he will do Brit Milah right away with all the halachot and everything. And the baby, since they will talk, he will say, the first words will be Modeh ani lefanecha, Torah tziva lanu Moshe. Now, few years passed, at the age of 8 or 9, he will be tested for about 1 seder in the Mishnayot by heart. When he will be bar mitzvah, he will know the entire parasha. He will become a Talmid Chacham. Then he will go to yeshiva and to learn. And at the age of 18, he will know half a shas. At the age of 22, he will marry to the chashuv, one of chashuv family. Wow! So this person came home and got the right education, was born to the right environment. But the baby that was born right next to him, same time, will go to the kibbutz. In the kibbutz, they also will have good parents, but their values are completely different. They will teach him, I don't know what, about the value of the socialism or whatever. When he will get to bar mitzvah, I don't know if he'll have a bar mitzvah whatsoever, or if he will do, bar mitzvah with no mitzvahs, bar mitzvah with no Torah. He will grew up to be a good person, but no connection whatsoever to Torah. Imagine more years will pass, they will get to the age of 50. One of them will be a big Dayan, Rosh Yeshiva, with a lot of Talmidim, with a lot of students. The other one will be a professor in the university with a lot of students. No connection to Torah. Another 30 years will pass, and they will die in the same day, at the age of 83. Okay? Now they come up to Beit Din Shel Malam, but they are both Jews, right? Each one of them will be asked the same questions. Did you learn Torah? That's one of the 6 questions that every Jew going to be asked when he will go after 120. They will be interviewed in the same day, in the same time, and both will be asked, did you learn Torah? One of them will say, yes, of course, ask me, wherever. Torah, Nevi'im, Ktuvim, Mishnah, Gemara, Zohar, Kabbalah, everything. And he knows a lot, he learned a lot. The other one will say, what? Torah, what is this? Never got an education about this. I mean, yeah, I remember in the elementary school we learned Sipurei HaMikra, but nothing more than that. I could give you a lot of, information in my field in science. We're not interested here in this. It's less important. Torah. Did you learn Torah? He never learned any Torah. Never learned any Torah. So, My question about all this situation is it fair? I mean, he could say, you know what? I realize now that I had to learn Torah, but I realized it now. You will talk to Hashem and say, you put me in this house of this kibbutz, right? You give me a mother and a father that they themselves have no connection to Torah. So now you ask me or demand from me that I will know Torah? Well, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. And the question is how fair it is. How fair it is. And here's the answer. So this is the question. This is a big question. See, this is the same question like this teacher asked me about how to write the. Okay, there are conditions. This person, this student, was born smart. This one is less smart than him. In our world, it's very cynical. You know what? Fine, you're not smart. Do something else. But we appreciate this person that is. It's not fair. In Shamayim is not like this. We said about Hashem, El emuna ve'en avel tzadik ve'yasharu ki chol drachav mishpat. He's not giving something that's not fair. And here's the answer. The answer is in the Mishnah in Masechet Avot, Lefom tzara agra. It's not according to your achievement, it's according to your effort. Lefom tzara agra. And now, let's look at this. Imagine those two guys, Reuven and Shimon. Those are the two that we talk about, okay? Now we have a scale over here from 0 to 100 of the level that you could reach or should reach, okay? You should reach 100. But let's take those two. The rule is Lefom tzara agra, Lefi atzar hashka'a sachar, according to the effort is, just a minute, according to the effort is the reward. And here we're talking about, let's say, Reuven. Reuven was born. Reuven is the from guy that came from Mea Shearim, right? So when he was born straight to a level 50. A level 50. He got the environment, he got everything that you should be successful, right? In his life, he went up 30 degrees from 50 to 80. He didn't reach 100, but he made 30 degrees from the way he was, the level that he was, what he did in his life, 70 years, what?
How do you calculate that?
Hashem knows. Hashem knows. It's not up to us.
No. So within those 30 years.
Not 30 years. We're talking about 70 years. From the age of 13 to the age 83. We're talking about 70 years of Bechira. 70 years of free will, right? So let's say he went up from 50 to 80, and at the age of 83, he passed away at the level of 80. Okay? He came to upstairs, 80. His friend, the baby that was born next to him, was born at level 30, let's say, right? So, in the beginning, he is 20 levels more than him. He was born to 30. Now, in his life, let's say he made an effort and change and get up, and he finished at the age of 83 at the level of 70. 70. It's still less than what's the other one. The other one got into 80. Now, they died in the same day. This in level 80, this in level 70. In a way, it seems like this one has 10 degrees more than him. It's not true. Because he went from 30 to 70, which is 40 degrees, and he went from 50 to 80, which is 30 degrees. So it's not what do you reach, but what effort you did in order to reach it. So he is actually 40, and he is actually 30.
What you accomplished?
Exactly. It's what you made an effort in order to accomplish. It's not where did you reach and who are you? You are the effort that you put in. And this is the way Hashem judges us. Hashem didn't judge us according to what we do, but how hard it was for us. And He knows how much effort we put. Let me give you a practical example. Imagine two people that put on tefillin every morning. One of them do it naturally. He didn't get since the age of 13. He know what is it. He put on tefillin. The other one, is a Baal Tshuva. Is a Baal Tshuva. And when he started to put on tefillin, people laugh on him and say, what are you doing? This is ridiculous. And he did it anyways, because he knows that it's true. So when you put tefillin and everyone encouraging you, it's less than when someone making fun of you, laugh at you, and you do it anyways. So all of these things will be taken in account, and it's not the fact that you put on tefillin, what it takes from you in order to do it. By tefillin, by Shabbat, by kashrut, by everything. This is the way Hashem judge us, and this is the Nekudat HaBechira. Nekudat HaBechira is different from person to person. There are people that they have dilemma if to kill or not to kill, if they're in the mafia. To steal or not to steal. There are people who have no, I'll never kill anyone. Doesn't matter when, doesn't matter how, I will not ever kill or steal. Do I still have free will? Yes. I don't have free will to kill or not to kill, but I have free will to waste my time or not to waste my time. To speak Lashon Hara or not speak Lashon Hara. To learn Torah or to do something else. So it's different point in the scale when is your point of Bechira, but everyone in their point of Bechira have a free will. And according to what you invest, this is the way you complete or apply or realize or do your Bechira. So that's what we could talk about this issue, which is much bigger than. Okay, I'll see the pictures. Okay, let's take it out. So that's what we could cover in this three lectures in this series. Of course, the topic is much bigger than this, but we covered the main point and we learned a lot about this, and everyone should know it. So thank you for your attention, and this lecture will be Bezrat Hashem put on the internet tomorrow. It will be on the YouTube. You're invited to hear it again and spread it out. Give it to your friend that didn't have the time to come here.